time. I'm on Blog Talk Radio live on Friday night, February the 3rd. If you're listening live on Blog Talk, you can call in and talk wrestling. The number is 646-564-9993. And you push the number 1 so I know you want to come on the air and talk wrestling with me. I've been doing this show a long time now, a week ago. The first 2 episodes, I talked a lot about the Royal Rumble that was coming up on Sunday. I then did my 3rd episode where I talked all about the Royal Rumble also in a review. My show is usually 30 minutes long. That's a long time, and we have a lot to cover. I hope you enjoy my show, and if you do, please share it with other people too. I've been inspired lately and want to have a show that everybody listens to that loves wrestling as much as I love wrestling. I've watched wrestling ever since I was a little boy. And when I was in school, my friends called me Special Ed. It was my nickname all throughout school, and I still use it today. It kind of stuck. When you watch as much wrestling as I do and read the dirt sheets on the internet, they call you a smart mark. Smart mark. And I'm a smart mark because I know a lot about wrestling, and I started a podcast because I like to talk about wrestling, and I want to share my years of wrestling knowledge with you, my listener. But this isn't a one-way street. Why, you call in to me too. My number, if you're listening live, is 646-564-9993. Did you know that Monday, February the 6th, I'm going to the WWE Presents Monday Night Raw at the Motor Center in Portland, Oregon, where I live. And I really want to give Bailey a hug. I've been told for a long time that I'm a really good hugger, and she is too. What I want to talk about tonight, and I'm not working with a format, what they call doing the show off the cuff. Oh, I didn't even ring the bell. This hasn't been an official show yet. Here we go. I rang the bell. I got some feedback from my first 2 shows that my bell was too loud and it was hurting the ears of my listeners. I made an adjustment to my volume on the bell, and I didn't get any complaints after the last show. I think it's better now. What I want to talk about tonight is when I was a little boy, I go to the wrestling matches, and I want to talk a little bit about how they have changed the way they do the live shows. I don't like the way they do them now compared to when I was younger. And I don't want to tell anybody my age either, older than a lot of people think I am. And one time I was tested, and it tested me, said I was younger than I am too. A lot younger than I am too. I live in Oregon, and we have a newspaper called the Oregonian. Every Friday, the Oregonian will have a section called the A&E section, Arts and Entertainment. It tells you all about the happenings in Portland, Oregon coming up. It tells you what movies are playing at the theater. It tells you who the musicians are that are coming to the Motor Center or to the little hole-in-the-wall dive places that only hold a smaller crowd. It has articles and it talks about some of the restaurants and stuff. But what I want to tell you is when I was younger, they would put in an advertisement when the wrestling was coming. And it would run the same ad for several weeks in a row. And it was about an ad about maybe 5 or 6 inches long by maybe 4 inches wide. And on it would have, maybe it was a little bigger than that even, but it would have all the matches for the show coming up. And oh, it was so cool to see it because you look and think, oh, it's going to be Hulk Hogan here against the Big Boss Man. I've seen them on TV. They're having a conflict, and it'll be great to see if Hulk Hogan can get his revenge on the Big Boss Man. And I wonder if the Doctor of South will be there. And he was. The first WWF show I went to was on my birthday. Uh-oh, I don't think I should tell you my birthday or what year this was, but I will anyway. It was on October the 9th, 1988. And I was watching the WWF Superstars of Wrestling on the TV every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on KPTV Channel 12. And on Sunday, I watched on KGW Channel 8, WWF Wrestling Challenge. That was hosted by the best, Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Let's give a special bell for that. Help for a little while. I said to my mom, I said, I want to go to this. And my mom said that she was open to the idea, but then there would be so many matches on the show because I said Jake the Snake Roberts would be there against Ravishing Rick Rude. And my favorite, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, was going to be against the outlaw Ron Bass. And all of these are having big conflicts right then, but we really wanted to go see them wrestle each other. And my mom said, honey, I don't think all those matches will be here. I think just one. I said, no, Mom, I think it's all of them. And once she came to realize that was true, I was right. She said we could go to the matches, and I got so excited. I don't remember if my grandma went to that one or not. She probably did, but my dad and Mom and I, and probably my grandma, it was my birthday too. And we went to the show together. and it was the time of my life. But what I want to try to convey to you is how different it is now from then. Because then you would watch on Saturday and Sunday the matches on those shows, and you'd get to know the wrestlers really well. And they all look so good because they'd be beating the squash matches, the people that never win. And then they would wrestle each other at the live house show in Portland, Oregon. So you want to see what would happen when they wrestle each other. And it was exciting to know who would be wrestling each other too. And now, in contrast, I don't know who's even going to be here Monday. And that's just 2.5 days away from now. I just know the Monday Night Raw roster, but I don't know who's wrestling who. And believe it or not, I don't think they know either. They probably have some idea and maybe even know right now, but they're not thinking very far ahead. They couldn't give me a card 5 weeks in advance. And even if they did, it would spoil their TV show. Because that's all it is now, a TV show. I don't like that. I like the wrestling and the excitement of build-up of this guy will be wrestling this guy, and it'll be in 5 weeks from now. And knowing that and seeing the promos for that match in your home city. This was an East Coast company. Stamford, Connecticut is on the East Coast, and they talk a lot about New York, too. That's also on the East Coast. Portland, Oregon is on the West Coast. And what happened is I still felt important because the wrestling was coming here, and the wrestlers were wrestling each other here. Do you know that the first card that I went to, I was spoiled rotten? Birthday present to see a young Kurt Hennig. 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 Against, I think it was Sam Houston, the Cowboy. This was even before Kurt Hennig was Mr. Perfect. Just before he got that gimmick. He came out to the wing as just Kurt Hennig, I think. The Rockers were Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, and they were against the Conquistadors. And you might think, oh, that doesn't sound very good. But that might have been the match of the night. It seemed like it went about a half hour and was so good. Jake the Snake Roberts versus Ravishing Rick Rude with Cheryl Robert Corner. Whoa, that was something. They had quite a few, those two, and there aren't very many matches from it. So it was special to see them live. Believe me, won't you? And Hulk Hogan against the Big Boss Man with the main event. And my favorite, Brutus the Barber Beefcake against the Outlaw Ron Bass, who had cut him open and made it so he couldn't be at SummerSlam 88. There were other matches, too. I don't remember them all just now. But what a night it was. But over the years, I saw so many matches. And when you would be there, they would say, Howard Finkel would come up to the wing or somebody at the last intermission, and he'd give the announcement about the next time they'd be coming to Portland, and they'd say the tickets were on sale right then. But they would say, next month or in 3 months, the WWF will be coming back to the Memorial Coliseum. Everybody go, yeah, we'll be back here too. And then they would say, on that card, there'll be the Brooklyn Brawler against Kobe Ware. And everybody go, oh boy, I like him. And then they say, Hillbilly Jim will be against the Honky Tonk Man. Oh boy, I can't wait to see that. Because those two, maybe as an example, you would never see wrestle on the TV. So it was exciting. They'd say, the tag team champions, Demolition, defend the belt against the Hart Foundation. Oh my God, it's a title match. And they go all the way down the card, and a lot of times it wouldn't sound super spectacular. And then all of a sudden, and in the main event, will be Andre the Giant against the Ultimate Warrior, and the place would think the whole roof would come off, and it rains a lot in Portland, and you need the roof on the Memorial Coliseum building, and you'd be so excited. And then you would get, for weeks and weeks, on the event center, they would do the promo interviews, and you'd hear from Andre the Giant talking about wrestling the Ultimate Warrior, and Hillbilly Jim would talk about wrestling the Honky Tonk Man, maybe, and Coco B. Whale would talk too, about the Brooklyn Brawler. And then I want to also tell you that you would also, in the newspaper, would get an advertisement about it, and it would show all the wrestlers who they were against and how you get tickets and how much. But that was better than now. I think I just told you I'm kind of on a rant because I'm a bit upset, and being nostalgic, I think, is the word. I'm thinking back to when I was a little boy, but it's not just that I was a little boy, it was that they did things differently. I could still be excited about Monday Night Raw if I knew in advance that on that show, maybe Roman Reigns was going to wrestle against maybe the Samoa Joe, or maybe the Chris Jericho, was going to wrestle Braun Strowman. But at least having some idea what's going on, who to be really thinking about and excited about. Instead, I'm going to get there, I'm going to look at the merchandise and buy a soda pop, and then I'll find my way to my seat, and then I don't know what's going to happen, and then out will come the people that talk for 20 minutes to start the show, and then they'll tell us who some of the matches will be, and half the show will be watching a monitor, the Titan Twan, where they'll tell all about it, and I'll be waiting on Bailey for most of the show, probably. And I know from my past relationships that a lot of the time you wait on the women, you have to wait for them because they're getting all gussy up. Oh, gussy up. I better ring the bell again. Oh, I'm going to have a drink of soda pop again, too. It's a lot of talking. If you want to email me your ideas or your comments or things you want me to talk about on the show, there's a lot to talk about. you can email me. My email address is specialed@email.com. specialed@email.com. That's email, not Gmail, but email. E as in egg. We're live on the air on Blog Talk Radio, but you can also find us on SoundCloud.com and on the YouTube. If you want to help us be able to keep our show going on the SoundCloud, we need a sponsorship or contributions. You can make a donation at GoFundMe.com. And let me just make sure I have it right here. GoFundMe.com/SpecialEdSmartMark. That's the name of the show, and that helps us be funded. It's www.gofundme.com/SpecialEdSmartMark. And so far, we don't have any contributions yet. But we just started this show, and it takes some time. I understand from podcasters that make a living doing this, which would be a dream come true, that you just go, and all of a sudden you're a success. There isn't any rhyme, no reason, or calculation, but you just suddenly become a hit show. So we're going to just keep following our passion and doing what we love, which is talking about wrestling. We probably don't have time to get to callers tonight, but the number is 646-564-9993. And I plan on doing another show tomorrow night at 10 Pacific time too. I could do a show every day if I wanted to, but I don't know that I want to do one that often. It's a lot of talking, and I spend a lot of time watching wrestling and reading about it too. I need a little variety in my life too. Let's look here at some of the wrestlers that are on the WWE Monday Night Raw and get some idea of who might be here at the Motor Center. I'm on the WWE.com. And I'm looking also, we got 4.5 minutes left tonight on this show. The wrestlers that we might see include Alicia Fox, Aria Davari, Bailey. I need an extra minute on Bailey. Big Cass. Big E, he's in the New Day. Big Show, these are in alphabetical order. Bo Dallas, Bob Backlund, I didn't know he was on Monday Night Raw. Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar. Did you know Brock Lesnar's married to Sable? That's right. Byron Saxton, he's an announcer. Cedric Alexander. Cesaro, who I really like a lot. the WWE Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. I like her too. Charlie Caruso, but that's a girl. Chris Jericho. Corey Graves, he's an announcer too. Curtis Axel. Dana Brooke. Darren Young. Drew Gulak. Enzo Amore. Epico. And another Dwayne Hill. I don't know how to pronounce some of these. I'm not familiar with Epico. Just a minute. Let me have one more drink before. I'm not even going to ring the bell. Finn Balor is on Monday Night Raw too. Goldust, he's been around a long time. Grand Metallic, Jinder Mahal, JoJo. I remember when we would go to get a side and we would get JoJo's with our chicken tenders. A little bit different, though, but it made me remember it. Carl Anderson, Kevin Owens, the Universal Champion. Whoa. Kofi Kingston, 60 seconds to go. Kofi Kingston, Lana, Lince Dorado, Luke Gallows, Mark Henry, Michael Cole, Mick Foley, Neville, Nia Jax, Noam Dar, I like his name, Noam Dar, Paige, Primo, Truth, Rich Swann, Roman Reigns, Rusev, Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Stephanie McMahon, Summer Rae, Tajiri, V. Brian Kendrick, Titus O'Neil, T.J. Perkins, Tony Nese, and Xavier Woods. Whoa, that's a lot of wrestlers. And we don't have a clue who'll be here or who'll be wrestling. Whoop-de-doo. Thanks, Vince McMahon. Whoa. It's a good thing I'm such a fan that I want to go to the show anyway. Time we have tonight, I'm going to ring the bell again.
The better way to get there.